Plenty Valley FM presents Sig's Flicks.
Well, that's a great fanfare because it signifies that Sig Anderson is awake and ready to fly. And good morning to you, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, indeed. Oh, yes. Good morning, Bill. How are you going? It's fine, wonderful sunny morning.
A beautiful morning, isn't it? Yeah, it's great to be alive.
It is indeed, but I hesitate once again to talk to people about all the films they can go to because it's better to be out in the sunshine, of course.
Oh,
However,
exactly. So there's always After Dark.
Yeah, there is too, yeah, as well. But one of the great new films coming, I think, well, it's a re-release of the Talking Heads film, Stop Making Sense, from way back in 1983, 40 years ago, I tell you. And after all these years, this film has been re-restored with a new soundtrack, with a revised soundtrack, and revised for IMAX theater. I didn't see it at the IMAX, actually, but it's been revised for the big screen there and beefed up with some very good sound. And Dave Talking Heads is an incredible band from way back then. It's not too bad with the crazy 80s fashions and hairstyles, but they had some interesting moments in that from the main singer and guitarist David Byrne, of course, is pretty well the leader of the band, and his bandmates at the end, Jerry Harris on guitar and Chris Franz on drums. Featured quite strongly in this one, which is good, and his wife Tina Weymouth on bass. Little Tina, she's short, very much like Suzi Quatro, almost as long as the bass guitar itself.
That's tall.
Yeah. This is a very good film. It's just to see this after all these years again, having restored, is amazing. They have quite a groove, and they go very well with a lot of their songs.
So there's no changes made. It was just a restoration into a 4K. What would you call it? 4K. What do you call 4K? Yeah.
Yeah, 4K. A new video.
Yeah.
The new screening format. Sorry, for the visuals. So it's much higher quality there. So it's been beefed up, which is very good. This is not a documentary. That's a straight restoration of a full concert. Well, a lot of the concert films. And they had a problem with that because, well, not a problem, but something they had to be concerned about. It was filmed in Hollywood at the Pange Theater way back, as I say, in 1983, over several days. So they had to be careful to start the songs in those days anyway at the same tempo, the same speed, because they had to splice them in with other songs and some of the songs together over several days. So, yeah, it was pretty good. Some of the things in this film and some of the songs are just incredible when they went through, and it was quite revolutionary at the time. Usually concert films go straight on and they go through, but David Byrne, the main lead singer and guitarist, wanted to be a little bit more creative with that, and he got inspiration from Balinese and Japanese theater and puppetry, and the way he wanted to show the audience exactly what was happening on stage. Well, so he started, which didn't happen much in those days, by just himself solo on stage, doing the first song, and then the bass player came on, Tina Weymouth, and joined him. So they had a duo, and every band member came on one at a time. And while this was happening, the stage was virtually being constructed around them. Had stage crew going through and wheeling on sets and dropping things in, and the audience became part of the construction by just witnessing this and going through it. And it's pretty good the way they did it. But the whole thing was just a fantastic groove, fantastic sound through the rhythm section of Tina Weymouth and Chris Franz on drums and bass. So the way it went through there, they had this was all those years ago in Melbourne, they had the show back in '83, was actually the last time they actually performed live, other than a few short ones since then. So they, as usual, bands had a bit of a breakup, arguments, and they had split from the main guy, David Byrne, and they have got together from this film, for this re-release, because the people had the rights for the film. It's expired, and it sort of reverted back to them. They were able to release it. So we're able to see it. But it's just a tight group. Some of the songs that went through there were real good. It's real dance music, which makes it a bit hard if you go see it at IMAX when it's a seated theater, and any theater really. You don't want to get up when you go see the film because other people want to see it, of course. But they've all gone on to do many things. Harrison, of course, has got a solo. Jerry Harrison, the guitarist, has gone on for a solo career, and several other projects he's got. David Byrne has become very good at multidisciplinary work with collaboration with people, and they haven't done it together for a while. They've come together just for this film.
And who did the restoration?
Excuse me?
Who did the restoration?
Oh, they had a series of people, many people, and virtually a technical thing. Once they got rights to the film, they were able to go through it and get things done on it and sort of beef it up and have it a better screen, as you say. So they reproduced it with that 4K higher level video image, and of course Dolby Atmos sound is making a much better sound. It's just crystal clear on many. One song I noticed wasn't quite there. I had a bit of a problem with it. It was a little bit fuzzy, but the rest is just much better. The sound as well as the vision on it. So it'd be interesting to see how it did come out in IMAX, to see how it goes. So just really solid music there. But that's anyway. Stop Making Sense. It starts this Thursday. You can see that one and have a lot of fun with that. And maybe you get told off if you get up and dance in the aisles.
Well, if you did, you would, because you're so tall.
Yeah, you get told right off. But screening now. Also, do we have a few messages before I go on?
No, we've cleared our obligations.
Excellent. Well, I'll wrap it on a bit and tell you about the Jewish International Film Festival. One of the big ones, again, is with you. Every week there's an international or national film festival or different emphasis film festivals which is screening. And this one is no exception. It's screening now right through November 29, the whole month, at the Classic down in Elsternwick and the Lido down in Hawthorne, a little bit closer to us here. And if you want to find out a little bit more about that than what I can tell you here, you can find that at the website jiff.com.au, which is standing for Jewish International Film Festival. So what are some of the films you can see there? Well, one of the ones I was really taken with was Stella, A Life. And this is, once again, a true story taken from the Holocaust and in World War II years, which is a real treasure trove of terrible stories from that time for the Jewish in Israel. As you said, it's very topical at the time with the troubles they're having over there now. So this Stella, A Life, is a true story of Stella Goldschlag, and from September 1943, right to the end of the war, she helped. She actually turned in and betrayed hundreds of Jewish people to the Gestapo. And after that, after the war, she faced a trial for what she did there. But she was forced to do that, and so a lot of people have different opinions of what happened there, and whether she should be blamed or not, because she was forced into it. So it's divided people a lot. It's from the best-selling book Stella, One Woman's True Tale of Evil Betrayal and the Survival in Hitler's Germany. And she was a young German Jew in Berlin during the Nazi regime, and she was actually a jazz singer. There's some nice scenes early on where she's singing with the band and trying to get things ready. But, of course, things are difficult with the rise of the Nazi regime in Germany at the time. And reuniting with her parents, and it's pretty difficult. And she takes up with a pretty flamboyant guy who forges passports, and they get a few passports going with them as they're able to get out about in a bit with difficulty. And she tries to maintain or recover while still, keeping a secret that she was Jewish. And well, she's discovered eventually, and she's turned in by a friend of hers. And unfortunately, this happens a lot. And this is another side of the Holocaust, which we don't see a lot. And they torture her and threaten to deport her parents and herself, and things are in grave danger for herself and her family if she doesn't go around Berlin and turn in other Jewish people to the Gestapo. And it puts her in a very difficult place. But she does decide to do that, and a lot of people are in trouble and go to their death because of her. And she is troubled by this, very, as you can imagine. It's a real story of yet another story of survival back during the Holocaust, which the things people do in times of real stress is quite difficult. That film's called Stella, A Life, and it's one of the better ones from the Jewish Film Festival.
And it's available if you want to watch it. Go and have a look at it. It's on tonight or this afternoon at 1:30 at the Classic. Yeah.
Sorry, we're getting a few dropouts. Bill, I can't quite hear you.
Right. It's on today at 1:30 at the Classic Theatre.
There you are. Yeah, back again.
Yeah.
Several things. Once again, at the website, jiffs.com.au, you can find out the full schedule. You can see some of those, including that one. So you got the whole month to see it. So and others at this film festival.
Are they subtitled?
Sorry?
They subtitled.
Yes. Many of them are subtitled. This one's in German with English subtitles. And others are in pretty well in various languages, German sometimes, and Yiddish, and some of them are in English already. For example, this next one is all in English. It's a documentary called The Compassionate Spy, and this one is a pretty amazing film because it's a story that's another true life story, and it's a companion piece to the Holocaust. Sorry, the Oppenheimer film, which is so popular recently, because this is the story of one of the physicists that worked with Oppenheimer at the time. We have this guy has been recruited from Harvard to be one of the workers for the Manhattan Project, and he was instrumental in helping develop that. But on the other hand, he was quite conflicted by this. This is Ted Hull, and he was very concerned that the U.S. would have a monopoly on the nuclear power after the war, and it would pretty lead to nuclear catastrophe. He thought the U.S. had too much power in that time, and so he decided to pass on some of this information to the Soviet Union to even things up. And this didn't go well, of course. So this is his story of how they're virtually a spy and betrayal there to the U.S. from the initial development there had developed, and also a story of how he met and married a fellow student and went through there along the way. So A Compassionate Spy, quite a compelling documentary about something that happened then. It's pretty amazing.
Wow, this is quite a different. Is there anyone with some lighter side of things?
Well, actually, you mentioned this is a little bit lighter. We have Philip. This one is pretty well the story of a waiter in a city's top hotel, and he was actually Jewish refugee, but he pretends to be French. And if you fraternize, if you're a Jewish person, you fraternize with Aryan women, it's punishable by death. And he was a pretty flamboyant young guy, and he's wanted to continue this French ruse right through, and by doing a lot of fraternizing with Aryan women, and he sort of lived very boldly, and this film sort of shows his life and how he went through various things, and it's I won't say what happened there, but it was living very dangerously and very brazenly, and being, as you can imagine, the invincibility of the young. He thinks he was okay with this, so it went there. Lots of films you can see at the Jewish International Film Festival from right now, including the one you said earlier. So you can see that right through the month, Bill.
Beautiful. And what do you got coming up? Well, we've gone about 9 o'clock, so we better wrap up and go to the news. You there?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on today, mate. And you'll be back next week with Thurston.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys out there at the movies.